Good morning, one and all. Welcome back after a short break or gap, I can say, because the English class has been reduced into just two classes per week. Okay, we understand that you have been longing for a grammar class for a long time. It's a time for us to get into another topic. Okay, so shall we start? So before we get in, let me tell you what did we do so far. Alright, so we have learned about some of the grammar topics and some lessons as well, and it is the high time that we need to get into another very important topic, which is phrase and clause. And I would like to talk about one more very important thing. Based on your worksheet exercises, it is clearly sure that many of you do not get much interest nowadays. What is the reason for that? Do you feel that your interest levels are going down? You should never allow your interest level to go down. At any cost, you have to fight and you have to become successful at the end. So let there be 100 problems which haunt you n number of times, which always stop you from learning, but we should understand that this time too shall pass. Let me tell you, this time too shall pass. So what do you mean by that? This time too shall pass means whatever the present difficulties will definitely be over and we will be back to the very important time of our life, that is learning time. Okay. So I do not want to prolong, but let me remind you, before we get into this, you should be ready with the note, pen, whatever the things which is required. Because in between I am going to give you some of the exercises as well. Alright. So let me promise you that this is not going to be a very difficult grammar exercises. We will have a lot of interaction in between, and I will pause the video wherever, not literally me. In fact, you guys can pause the video in case if you wanted to write down the questions. Okay. Right, and some of the people have expressed their the expectation that this year is going to be a zero academic year, and it is not necessary to learn all these things. But let me tell you one thing: whether it is zero academic year, one academic year, two academic year, a learner is a person who never stops learning. So your spirit should not go away at any cost. You are supposed to continue with your learning interest. Okay, chalo, we will get into the topic phrase and clause, dear children. Okay, so we have already learned this topic phrase and clause earlier as well, but since there was a long gap in between, it is time for us to have a quick recap. Okay, let me tell you. So, what is the purpose of learning? So, why do we learn phrase and clause? Not to just get examination marks, but for good communication and writing purpose. So, writing has become almost a zero activity nowadays. When you listen to online classes, there are very less chances that you guys write something, because you don't get anything to write. Even if you get, you have the liberty to skip it, right? So please don't allow your writing skills to bury inside you. You have to utilize it. So being a good writer is not going to be an easy task. So especially when it comes to English, a good writer has got good future as well. So this grammar exercise this particular topic can be a very good suggestions from my end to improve your written skills as well. Because when you realize, yes, I have some more skills required, or I need some more skills required, with the help of this skill, with the help of this particular topic, you will be able to do it. Okay, so first we will get into the topic called phrase. Okay, so let us see how this phrase can be useful to us. So, phrase and clause. So, one more thing I forgot to tell you. This phrase and clause are literally a part of sentence construction. A good sentence construction requires this phrase. A group of words which make sense but not complete sense. So, you have learned so many kind of phrases in between, and how this can be explained in detail, that is what we are going to discuss. Group of words which make sense but not complete sense. I can add one more word here, complete sense. Okay, so then how it is going to be? Look at this. The sun rises in the east. So we have heard this a number of times throughout the education period. The sun rises in the east. So I am going to underline few words here, and let us check how can it be a phrase and what are the things we need to remember. The sun rises in the east. See, imagine I have underlined, not imagine, I have underlined in the east part. Okay, and here you can see the part which doesn't contain any underline. The sun rises in the east. The sun rises in the east. If you look at this part, you can see three words. In the east. Right. Now you may please tell me whether this part gives me any complete sense or not. If I say only in the east, you will get okay, in the east. But still there is a question mark. In the east, who, what, where, how, blah, 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 blah. A number of questions are going to be. So, we have got few sentences, so few words which give us complete sense or partial sense, only partial sense. So it makes sense but not complete sense. And when we add the remaining part, then only this gets the complete meaning. So the underlined part can be called as a phrase because it contains few words but we do not get complete meaning. Because of that reason, this part can be called as a phrase. So let me tell you, phrase is a group of words which do not give us complete meaning. Okay. In other words, if you go in a little bit advanced way, I can say that a phrase never contains a subject and predicate. Then you may be thinking, what is subject and predicate? Subject is the doer of the action or about what we are discussing about. Okay. So here the sun rises. When I added this part, the sun rises in this. Yes, of course we have got the complete meaning. Okay, right. And this phrase can be divided into different phrases like a noun phrase, adjective phrase, adverbial phrase. And we are not going to discuss or get into those things as of now. Just have an understanding. Now, shall we go to the second question? Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. What do you mean by this? Humpty Dumpty, you have heard or you have learned this rhyming in your nursery class, in your childhood, right? So going back to those times is definitely going to be a good memorable moment. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. So here I am going to underline sat on a wall. Okay. Or if I underline only on a wall, okay. Whether sat on a wall or only wall even can be considered. Okay. So if I mention like this sat on a wall, what it is going to be? It is also going to be a phrase. Okay, let me underline completely. Sat on a wall. If I say only sat on a wall, then you may think, who? Definitely. So, if this particular part, if the subject is not there here, you will definitely have a question mark. I mean, you will not get the complete meaning. So, definitely there is a requirement of subject. So, if there is no subject and predicate, then it can be called as phrase even. Right. For example, imagine I did not write this. Only sat on a wall, we are not getting. So subject is also required. Imagine if this part is not there. Humpty Dumpty. We have got only noun. Right. Subject. But we do not have anything. So the part underlined, the underlined part can be definitely called as phrase. Okay. So let me group of words which make sense but not complete sense. This is called as phrase. So be very clear because this particular topic need to be get into your mind or your brain. Because the upcoming parts are going to be completely about exercises and I will have many questions to you people. Now clause. Shall we get into clause? Sure. Group of words which contain a subject and predicate. Okay. In an earlier case, we discussed that only those words are giving partial meaning, right? Not complete sense. So here in this case, which contain a subject and predicate. Okay, subject and predicate. So, let me explain. I think you have made a mistake. Okay, now let me underline. See, I think you have made a mistake. So this is what the part I have underlined. Okay. If you look at this part, can you tell me why this particular part is missing here? If this is not here, you have made a mistake. In this part, which is a subject, you, right? Because you is the doer of the action. Have made a mistake. Remaining part became predicate. So what is called a predicate? Other than the subject, the start will become predicate, the part of a sentence. Okay. So here you is a subject, have made a mistake is the predicate. So we have got subject and predicate. So if one sentence contains a subject and predicate, then definitely we can say that it is not going to be a phrase, it is going to be a clause. Okay, so I think you have made a mistake. So underline part. And this also you can consider it as a clause. How can you consider it as a clause? I, subject, thing, verb. Okay, so subject and predicate. If subject and verb is there, definitely it is going to be a clause, right? So this is also a clause, this is also a clause, and two clauses are there, and we are going to in detail how many kind of clauses are there. Now let us have some clarity about phrasal clause. So this part, hope you got the clarity. Shall we go to the next part? Yes, I know that you are ready with the answer. Okay. If you try, you will get it. Yeah, what a question for this particular moment. This is really suitable as well. So you may please underline the clause. Okay, so let me check how many of you are going to get the right answer. If you try, you will get it. I can say that I can give you a clue. There are two clauses. So which are those two clauses? And be ready. 3, 2, 1. Yes, done. How many of you have underlined like this? I have underlined two clauses. How many of you underlined exactly like this? Then you can appreciate yourself. Your answer is very right. If you try, let me check. Some of you may get confused. Sir, I don't get full meaning for this. How can I consider it as a clause? Right. So I have the answer for that. Let me explain. If you try, what did we say? Clause, a group of words which contain a subject and predicate. So here, do we have a subject? Yes, subject. Try, verb. So we have got it. Subject and verb. If you get, definitely it should be a clause. So if you try, subject and verb. Though this part is not giving complete meaning, it has subject and predicate. So it is called as clause. Now you will get it. Use subject, remaining predicate. So subject, predicate. So phrase clause. Got it? So we have two clauses. Now, you have a small exercise as of now. Please write these questions quickly. Pause this video, write the questions quickly, and be ready with the answer. And as soon as this particular exercise is over, we will have the discussion. Okay? Welcome back. I hope it's a time for us to discuss the answer. The early bird catches the worm. Okay, so let me. Oh, one thing happened. That I did not underline, right? Yes, that was your task. The early bird catches the worm. From here, I just wanted to write and understand the phrasing clause. The early bird catches. So this part, from this, what do you think this is going to be a clause, right? In case if I wanted to underline here, I will underline here and here as well, right? The early bird catches. So the early bird subject catches verb. It can be clause if I write only the verb. The verb. So we have two words and it doesn't give complete meaning and it doesn't contain subject and predicate. So this part can be phrase. Now if you look at the second question, show me how to do it. You can show your answers. I literally see that. Show me how to do it. So do you think this has got phrases or only clauses, or what do you think? How many of you underlined like this? Now we have got two clauses here. How? Let me tell you. Show me. Show me is a kind of request or order. We can say moreover, it is an order. Show me. Do it. So in this, which is the subject? The subject of show me is going to be you. You is silent here or hidden here. Right. So when the subject is hidden, normally we call it as imperative sentence. Any kind of request or order can be imperative sentence. So show me. You show me. Subject you, remaining is going to be predicate. So this is a clause. How to do it? How to do it? This can also be a clause. So how do we say this is a clause? How to do it? Show me how to do it. In this, which is the subject? You show me how to do it. That is what I am trying to say. Which means subject is hidden. Okay. Though it is not mentioned here, I should think that this is going to be what? Subject is going to be. So do, verb. So we have got two clauses here. Alright. Now the third question. We cannot start while it is raining. We cannot start while it is raining. So here also we have got two clauses, and those clauses are going to be we cannot start while it is raining. first clause, second clause. How did we get it? We cannot start. We subject remaining here. It subject is raining. Here while is the conjunction. With the help of this conjunction we have joined the sentences. So here we have got two clauses. Okay. So did you get the basic idea of what is a phrase and clause? Dear children, remember this particular phrase and clause concept is going to be very important for effective written skills and speaking skills. So you may be highly in need of the sentence construction methodology in your higher classes and to express your content or express your ideas very freely. Consider this grammar class as a learning session for your life, not for the examination purpose. Right? So definitely this concept should be learned. Okay? Right. If you have the doubts during Zoom interaction classes and all, we can definitely come for your assistance. So before we wind up today's introduction class, let me have a quick recap what we have learned, that is phrase and clause. And in simple we can say that phrase and clause is going to be the factors which decides the sentence construction, and a phrase is a group of words which do not give us complete meaning, wherein a clause a group of words which contains subject and predicate. And in the next session we are going to discuss how many kind of clauses are there, what are the importance and all. And today you are going to get your worksheet, and after watching this immediately attempt the worksheet and we will explain the remaining part as well. So thank you very much. Have a great time ahead, teacher.